Alright, this time on Captain Chaos Laboratory, we're going to be doing the Carroll Town collection from Lemax Snowball Fight. It's another table accent piece, and listen, hopefully you can hear it. Motor's going, nothing's moving, but the light works. So I'm thinking a belt or a gear or something, but I think this guy's supposed to go up and down. I think they're all supposed to go up and down. Could be wrong, except for him or her, it. How about that? So let's pull up a seat and take it apart. Again, like most table accent pieces, you got screws. I'm going to assume that these 6 hold the mechanism in for these characters. So I'm only going to work on the outer 7. And if you can tell, those screws are not black, those are rusty. This is part of an annual Christmas display, and apparently it's picked up some moisture since the heads of the screws are rusty. It's not technically an outdoor display. These displays are in windows. So, in like the windows of the house and the shed and the garage or carport, not in direct elements. So, this just means that it was stored or near something with moisture. Give an example is if you have a misting system on one of your houses. Some of the Christmas houses have the misters that imitate fake chimneys, and then some of the Halloween have the misting systems like the Isle of Creepy Jacks. That kind of moisture, or even Doom Point or something, the one I spent hours rebuilding a while ago, they put enough moisture in the air that you could get corrosion on your metal parts. Alright, let's see how this pops out. It's getting caught on this person's arm and hand. I also want to make sure that the wires to the light pole aren't going to get torn. Now, there's got to be a trick to getting this out over these characters. I don't see what the trick is because their arms are too big. So let's take a look inside. What do we got? Anything? Looks like they're screwed on. Looks like you have to unscrew them to get them out. No, that's a dab of glue. In between all of their legs is a little brown dot. I thought it might have been a rusty screw. That is a dab of glue. I wonder if these are pressed on. Yes, they're pressed on. Okay, so just wiggle them off their shafts, hopefully. Well, got one off. So you can see the bottom. It's just slid over. I'm trying to see if I can get these to do the same, but they don't want to come out. So see if we can get a spudger in here and give it a little extra persuasion. Okay, spudger's too big. So blade screwdriver up here, a small one. So I'm going to use a small blade screwdriver and see if I can get up underneath this thing to help persuade it to slide off of its shaft. Apparently the persuasion is not working, it's just bending the screwdriver. They're normally easy to get into. Ooh, yeah, never mind. These do not come off. So, front one comes off, these back two do not. It's a completely different mechanism. Belt looks good. It might be a little weak. I'm still going to try and get it off, but before I do, I want to try and power it back on. And I want to see what's moving and not moving. It's a bad belt. And possibly a warped gear, because the belt is just spinning over the pulley. And how do we get these back tube characters off? There's an eccentric pulley back here, or plate. I'm going to see if I unscrew, if it will allow me to separate one of the characters. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yep, that's one. And this guy fits. This one might fit. No, I can't get him to go down. No, so. Alright, so this is what I unscrewed. This screw right here, same as that one and that one, which goes into this plate and has that pin. You can see this sticks out. And then this is the eccentric right here. So if you have this piece, the guy in the front slides out, and then the guy in the back, you need to open up just enough to get your screwdriver in there. Now when I turn this on, and just so you can see it, I'm going to mark the pulleys so you can tell if they're spinning. This one will spin, that one won't. See? It tries to spin and then it kicks back because it's getting caught. There we go. So, that was an easy fix. I'm probably going to replace the belt because it is kind of weak. You can see how much deflection maybe. The motor has a hell of a vibration. Anyhow, so apparently what happened was is this bar right here that pivots the guy in the front popped out. You can see it's got some play, hopefully. I can lift it. That's because the screw that holds it in is not supposed to be tight, but it's not supposed to be as loose as it is. So I'm going to snug it down just a little bit. And alright, probably helps if I put the belt back on. I want to make sure I didn't tighten it too much, because if you tighten it too much, of course it will not work. No, it's working just fine. And this screw here is also backing out. Same principle. It cannot be super tight or else it won't pivot. So, next, belt. This belt has a lot of give of that. So if any of these characters provide extra resistance, it's going to cause the belt to slip. Like the majority, this is from Skull Crane. I'll link them below. This is where I get a lot of my belts from. Let's see if it works. Well, that has a lot more play in it. Hopefully that one's not too tight. No, good. Just take the original belt and throw it away. The reason the character with the snowball in his hand isn't going up and down is because the eccentric is disconnected because of him. So, motor sounds good other than it's got a really horrible vibration. I'm wondering if the vibration is the screws are coming loose. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, those things are super loose. Wow. The screws that hold the motor are loose, not these screws. These are all snug. Alright, let's put it back together again. So we're going to slide this plate into its track and line up the eccentric, which is on the bottom. I want to get it on the top. It's on the top now. Twist it. Twist and shout. Let's get this guy in. There we go. So I got the character in its hole. I got the other guy into its groove. Now I just need to pop the eccentric on. I'll use the spudger for that again. There we go. Click. Now, you need to put the screw in. And this is where if you have a magnetic tip screwdriver, it's going to come in real handy. Okay, apparently it's caught. There it is. There we go. Let's see if that works. Perfect. So when I put it back in, the screw, I didn't screw it in far enough, and it caught the plastic base. That was the clacking sound you're hearing while it lifted. So make sure you get the screw all the way in. I thought I did. Apparently I did not. Hence the noise. So, just like always, I'm going to put these screws back in. And then we're going to turn it on and turn off the lights and see how much illumination we get out of the single light bulb. I like to illuminate my stuff in complete darkness in a room where the only thing that provides light is the objects themselves. And a lot of these table accent pieces for the Christmas season, well, at least the ones I'm getting that are broke, they don't have the greatest light saturation. They're just like pinpoint lights, and I don't know, not a big fan of it. I mean, maybe if you had some external like park lights you put around it or something, or it's in a dim room, lightly lit. But I do Halloween and my room is black, and the only thing that lights up the room is the Halloween pieces. So it's personal preference. No, and in case I didn't mention it, because I don't think I did, this is also a 4.5 volt piece, so it can run on the 4.5 volt AC adapter or the 4.5 volt battery pack that it comes with. That I don't pull out because I don't use the battery packs that often, and the person that owns this doesn't either. They're all plugged into power strips for his display. Matter of fact, his display last year was on Christmas Light Fight. If you watch that, he did not win, but at least he was on it. So, all right. Man, I keep dropping stuff. All right, I'm going to go kill the light. We're going to turn this thing on. Here we go. On. And off. So, you can see the first guy, you can see this guy twisting, but just his back. This one's in the shadows, the one that's all the way over here. And this person that's just standing is in the shadows. I mean, that's how you see it. You just see their shadow. Because it's a warm white light. It doesn't have a big illumination area. Light's coming back. Cool. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the illumination on these. But, there you go. Technically, it just needed to be realigned in the front, so unwedge everything. And I put a new belt on it because the other belt's shot. That's it. So it's pretty simple. So, take the 6 screws out. Right, 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 7, sorry. Pop him off. Lift the edge, unscrew the eccentric, pull him up and out of the eccentric so that way the whole top can come off. This person slides through the hole. And then fix what you need to fix. Belt, gear, motor. It's a 300 CA motor with a 1,000 or 14,440 RPM speed, since they do come in speeds. And yeah, pretty basic, pretty simple. So hopefully that helps you if you have this piece or something similar on how to repair it so you can keep it in your display running as long as you can. Until the next one.